Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to lesson 3. Alhamdulillah. In our previous lesson, we learned how to recognize letters when they're combined with other letters. Alhamdulillah. So, before moving on to this lesson, inshallah, make sure you've watched all the videos for lesson from the previous lesson, all the activities, the homeworks, the assignments that you needed to do. Make sure that is done, and you understand lesson 2, and now you're ready for lesson 3. Alhamdulillah. So in lesson 3, um, we're gonna continue learning, right? We're gonna continue recognizing the letters with other letters. However, there's one new thing that we're going to learn, which is called mud. Which is called what? Mud. All right. The mud. The mud. So you see this, this little red wave on top of the letters. This is what we call mud. All right. So all these words here, these are ayahs in the Quran. These are verses in the Quran. All right. These words are found in the Quran. All right, and they come in the beginning of their surahs. All right. So these words, they are special because when we're reciting them, we recite them with elongation. All right. So we stretch out the sound of the letter. All right, and that is what the mud is used for. All right. So the mud is used to stretch out the sounding of the letter. All right. So meaning, like, let's say this letter right here, this is lam, right? And we see the mud sound, so we stretch out lam. So we make the sound long, all right? And how long are we making these sounds? How long are we going to apply the mud? For 6 seconds, all right? 6 seconds. All right? So inshallah, we're going to begin with the first one. So the first letter that we see here, what letter is this? Alif, right? Alif. The next letter is what? Lam. The next letter is what? Lam. On top of the lam, there's a mud sign on it, right? So meaning we have to stretch out the sound. We have to make the sound long. Lam for 6 seconds. So alif, lam. The third letter is what? A meme, right? So alif, lam, meme, right? Also, if you notice, right, there was a little hold in between my lam and the meme. Lam, lam, right? Because our lam ends with a meme sound, and then the next letter that we're saying is a meme. Therefore, we applied a ghunna sound, right? Later on, we're gonna define what is a ghunna, but for now, we're gonna apply the ghunna sound, right? So we hold on to it. So alif, lam, mim, 6. All right. Is the alif stretched out 6 seconds? No. Why not? Because there's no mud on it, right? We don't see the mud sign on it. This mud sign, the lam is carrying it. So what is the lam and the meme? All right. Next one. Same thing. Alif. Second letter is a what? Lam with a mud. So lam. Make sure it's 6. All right. Make sure it's 6, because within our tajweed rules, we make sure we follow the rules. All right. So lam. Next letter, meme. Next letter, sod. So we have alif, lam, meme, sod. Repeat after me. Alif Lam Mim Sad. Good. Alright? Now move on to the next one. Alright? We have Alif with no mud, Lam with a mud on top of it, right? And the Ra. Does the Ra has a mud? No. So we don't prolong the Ra. We don't stretch out the sound of the Ra or the Alif. In this case, only the Lam. Alright? So we have Alif, Lam, Ra. So together it will be Alif, Lam, Ra. Repeat after me. Alif, Lam, Ra. Right? Lam, Ra. Alright? Next one. We have Alif. The Lam is stretched out. Lam. Mim is stretched out with a mud. Ra with no mud. So we have Alif, Lam, Mim, Ra. Is what? Repeat after me. Alif, Lam, Mim, Ra. Excellent. Alright. The concept understood? Move on to the next line. Again, if you need to replay the video, if you need to go back, and make sure it's strong. Make sure you master it. Alright? Following line. We have, what letter is this? Alright? This letter right here, this is a kaf. Remember, kaf is written like this, right? Initially. But in the last lesson, we mentioned that whenever kaf is written in the beginning of a word, it's like this. Alright? So this is kaf. Kaf with a mud. Ha with no mud. Ya with no mud. Ya, we know this is ya because there's two dots below. We know this right here is ayn. Right? And the last letter ayn with a mud. And then sad with a mud. Alright? And how do we recite this? Kaf, ha, ya, ayn, sad. One more time. Just listen. Kaf, ha, ya, ayn, sad. This time I want you to repeat after me. Kaf, ha, ya, ayn, sad. And make sure you're making all the letters that have the mud sign on it, right? You're making sure you're prolonging those, all right? And if you notice, right, when I was reciting this, from the in between the ayn and the sad, there's a sound there, right, that I made. Ayn, ayn, as if like the ending of the ayn sound was merging into the sad, right? So ayn, sad. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. This one gotta be easy, right? As long as we're able to identify the letters, it's readable, right? The first letter, what letter is this? Right, we know this is tha, right? Heavy, tha. Make sure the aw sound is applied in it. Aw, make sure it's heavy. Tha, not that. Tha. So tha and ha. Neither one of these two letters carries a mud sign, right? We don't see no mud sign on it, right? So how do we pronounce it? Ta-ha, ta-ha. Simple, no mud. No what? No mud. Okay. Next one we have Ta. What letter is this? Like the Seen, right? The little W. This is Seen. Because Sheen has 3 dots on top. Seen has no dots. So Ta, Seen with a mud, and then Meme with a mud. So Ta short, Seen, and Meme long. So Ta, Seen, Meme. Repeat after me this time. Ta, Seen, Meme. Good. Next one we have a Ta. Next letter we have what? A Seen. Seen with a mud. Ta with no mud. So Ta, Seen. Repeat after me. Ta, Seen. Good. Next one. Ya and then Seen. Yasin. Yasin. Good. Excellent. Next one we have what? Sod. We have what? Sod. Remember the sod, right? When I pronounce sod at the end, the right? The da sound of the sod, we bounce. Sod. Alright? Next one we have ha and a meme. Ha and then a meme. Meme with the mud sound on it. So we know it's Hamim. Hamim. Then we have Hamim. Ain with the mud, Seen with the mud sign, Qaf with the mud sign. So Ain, Seen, Qaf. Ain, right? Ain, Seen, Qaf. Alright? Next one, Qaf. Last one, Noon. Alhamdulillah. So again, all these words right here, these are special words that are found in the Quran, and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the meaning of these words. Alright? And all these words, they have some sort of like elongation, right, involved with them, right, in their pronunciation. So inshallah, that's that for lesson 3. Again, if you need to rewatch the video, please rewatch the video. Work on the on the assignments and the lessons, inshallah, before you move on to lesson 4. We're almost there, inshallah. Slowly, no rush, inshallah. No matter how much time it needs, you need to take for you to master it. Allow yourself to take your time, right? Because once it's strong, inshallah, you're able to build on, and then bi'idhnillah, you'll be able to recite the Quran properly, reciting each letter the way how it should pronounce, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.